Greetings from Tornado Alley. We had a tornado hit here earlier, about 10 miles away, caused a little bit of damage. This is what it was like about, I don't know, 5, 6 hours later. We had a power cut for about 5 hours, and it reminded me of this clip that I saw ages ago from Neil Degrass Tyson. Let me know what you think.
I'm tired of looking at countless thousands of cars exiting a city because a hurricane is coming. Where are the engineers and scientists saying, instead of running away from the city that's about to be destroyed by this hurricane, let me figure out a way to tap this cyclonic energy of this hurricane to drive the power needs of the city that it's otherwise going to destroy? Where are those people? You need a culture where that becomes a natural state of how people think, rather than buy toilet paper, buy water, run. That's our current natural state. And I don't think that was the country I grew up in.
My sentiments too. I wasn't raised here, but America, when you're in any other part of the world, America is seen as a leader in innovation and one of the most successful countries in the world and everything. But when you live here, it's really interesting to see that a lot of the infrastructure, like the power infrastructure here, is not good at all. There are certain countries where there might be third world countries, but they have a better power infrastructure than they do here in certain places. So it's really interesting because my partner said to me, choose whether it's the tornadoes you want, the hurricanes, the wildfires, the earthquakes, or just freezing cold winters, right? The winter blizzards or whatever the hell, like they call them all these different names every year. When I was on the East Coast, I definitely experienced that. Whichever part of the country you're in, it always fascinates me that in America, like for example in California, a lot of the houses, even though the wildfires are a huge risk, a lot of the houses are still made out of very flammable materials. They're made from a lot of wood instead of concrete. They're made of wood, which makes zero sense to me. But when I was talking to people about this, it was like, well, it's a lot cheaper and quicker to build houses like that. It's like, okay, moving on to the East Coast with like Florida and a lot of the East Coast kind of states that deal with hurricanes and flooding and a lot of the infrastructure. Again, I'm always kind of amazed at how, like, when you're looking at it, and I get that it's, these are natural forces of nature, but still the infrastructure, it's like just little matchboxes, like the houses just made of cars that get the cards that the roof just gets blown away. And certain things about the houses, I'm like, why aren't they made like how they're made in the Middle East? Like there are certain countries that I've been to in the Middle East where the houses are solid. Those kind of natural disasters, yes, they can create some damage, but not to the extent of what I see here. I'm just always kind of amazed that this is America, right? Likewise, actually, in the UK. In the UK is really interesting because they can't really handle extreme of anything, extreme heat or extreme cold. Literally, old people die in the winter because they cannot afford heating, and people die in the summer because there's no AC on a lot of the trains, and people get pulled out of the underground because they fainted from dehydration and exhaustion. And there are always warnings in the UK when it's too cold or too hot. There are always warnings for people because a lot of people die in these extreme weathers when the infrastructure can actually prevent that to such a high degree of efficiency. And we have the technology, we have the funding, but unfortunately the psychopaths that control a lot of these countries, they're more concerned about war, about arms. They're more concerned about different things than the well-being of the people. That's my personal opinion. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would prefer, whether you would prefer to live somewhere where there are earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfires, or just winter blizzards, like freezing cold temperatures and really cold winters. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.